WhiskyJason here, whiskey from the viewpoint of an American over here in Germany, and today I would like to do something totally new. So my plan is to do the following. Come join me while I take a look at this website together. I don't know if you know this or not, it's www.whiskeyauction.com. They are based in Germany. Thomas Kruger, the owner, actually I interviewed a few years ago. Last year, he was actually on a live stream in German, and he has a fairly good system. I bought bottles there, I sold bottles there, so I actually know this, and I look at this platform almost every month. Now, what he does is each person who buys the bottle has to pay 10%. Buyer's premium, and every person who sells that bottle pays a 10% fee as well. So Thomas Kruger and his team earn 20% on each and every bottle sold. So their interest is definitely in having a wide range of expensive bottles on their site. And on top of the 10%, for me as a purchaser, I also have to pay for postage and handling, which is not overly expensive. All right, so now we're at the 296th whiskey auction, and it will close on the 28th of May. So the prices here that I'm going to be talking about, I'm just going to look at the bourbons, are actually prices that are not yet at their peak. They will be hopefully soon. All right, so over here you have the list. The website does look a little bit like 1990s, but it functions perfectly. It works, and that's all that really matters. So take a look at USA. You have USA from A to L and M to Z. So what we're going to do is I'm going to go through all 196 bottles and just tell you a little bit about them, tell you a little bit about what's on auction sites over here in Europe at the moment. So the first thing that we always see over here are, I call them supermarket bottles. American Star. It's a over 4-year-old Kentucky straight bourbon, 40%, 0.7 liter. This might be sold at a discounter. So someone bought it for €9.99, and it's now on sale for €7. So it's not even worth looking at. I actually gathered, I think like 30 of these bottles, bought them. All of them were under €10. And I did an advent calendar with them, and we tried them. And some were okay, some were terrible, some were, and that was where I was like, okay, never again. So Ancient Age. So we know Ancient Age. I mean, €22. We can get it over here in Germany as well, no problem. Now, this is a bottle that I have not really sunk my teeth into. Anderson Club. Every single auction basically has one bottle at least of Anderson Club. All right, it's a 15-year-old Kentucky straight bourbon. It is a 750 milliliter bottle, which means it's meant for the USA, and it's 43 proof. Now, if I click on it, I actually can go down here, and I can do a 360 with the bottle, so I can see it from the front and from the back and all that. I can zoom in. So the site does have some functionality here. What is also very, very interesting is the so-called history. So I can go and, as I said here, look, one bottle was found, one bottle was sold here for $179. There's been 2 bottles sold here, both at 100 apparently, 116. There's so many different Anderson Clubs out there, 15 years old, that it's a source whiskey. Where is it? What is it? Who is it? I really don't know. So sorry. So the same thing goes for the antique. It's a 6-year-old Kentucky straight bourbon whiskey. It's a quart bottle. So this is old. For us over in Germany, we can actually see that on the back of a bottle. I'm going to turn this around. Nope, not on there. Not this bottle. All right, good. So we have Kentucky straight bourbon whiskey, distilled Louisville, Kentucky, 86 proof. Okay, good. I have no idea. It says 1 quart at the top, so it's a little bit older here. All right, very, very good. And then we move over the decanters. You have the locomotive with 14-year-old, 150 months, €100. You have here the pintail. You have the pin bottle. About 4 times a year, I see these pin bottles on sale. Some people buy them, and they're so proud. They're not that expensive. I've had the whiskey. It's not wow. You have a Cardinal, maybe from Virginia. Benchmark, looky here. We have a premium bourbon, 6 years old. So it's also a 4/5 quart. So this is an old bottle of Benchmark from Seagram's. Look at that. That's what I wanted to show originally. We have something here called Ausländisches Erzeugnis. Way up until the mid of the 80s, anytime a product was not made in Germany, it had to have ausländische Erzeugnis. Erzeugnis means product, and ausländisch means foreign. So it's a foreign product. It was not made in Germany. Bourbon cannot be made in Germany, therefore it's an import product. And we stopped putting those labels on there in the mid 80s, so we know this bottle is a little bit older. So then we go over to our Blantons. Oh, we have so many Blantons on sale here. The question is, do you really need to buy a Blantons? So every Blanton is always a single cask. Every Blanton is from warehouse H still at the moment. And you have different proofs. So we have the 46.5%. Personally, buy an Eagle Rare 10-year-old. I can buy them in Europe. You probably can't. So that's a much better value for money. All right. So we have here a 46.5, 46.5. So here we have from 2000, well, it was bottled 2001, so over 20 years ago. That's why the price is a little bit higher. So you have straight from the barrels, yummy, yummy. So for 140 euros, I would almost get interested in that. So those are the prices we're going to be paying on our websites here. Let's, come on, pop up the history. So for straight from the barrel, we'll be paying anything from 107 to up to 275, 255. That's the price. At the moment, they're usually around 150, 160, sometimes 200, depends on what the thing is. So we had in June 2020, August 2020, October 2020. Yeah, so every 2 months we have something here. And then between April and July of 21, we didn't have anything, and now we have things as well. So that's very, very good with the functionality of this website, to be honest. So the normal 46.5 proof, then we have the gold editions over here for 90. This will not be add another 30 to 40 euros. This will be the price at the end. All right, so here we have a single barrel from Le Maison de Whisky. Nothing, it's just a 50% bottle, and it's 362 euros. No, thank you. Straight from the barrel, any day of the week with 64% would be so much better. So you do see we have quite a few of these bottles in there, and that happens every single week, or every single month. I'm sorry, once a month they have the website and it's updated, and people send in their bottles and so on. Do they send to the USA? Yes. Do they send to Australia? I think so. It's always the question which state you're in and how much you will have to pay. Look at the website and send an email. I think it's info@whiskeyauction.com, and they'll tell you what's possible or not. Blood Oath from Lexco. So this is batch number 5, or pack number 5, I'm sorry. 2019 release, Caribbean rum, 185. Not a bad price, actually. Then we have the Bookers. Here we have a 2015 for 63. It'll probably go up to 75. We have a 2015 without the box, so it's 5 euros less. We have here a B93. Ooh, that's interesting. 162. So still way back then, they were 7 years old for Bookers, not much older. Then the 16s were 6-year-old. Now, I have no idea what the Bourbon Town Club is. It is a 53%, so 86 proof and 750 milliliter bottle. What I think is always fascinating is in many, many auctions, I'll find a Buffalo Trace single oak project. So this time we have cask 55 and cask 173. They're about 65 here. They'll end up around 85. They are 350 milliliter bottles, but that's a taste of history. They did all these different woods, different mash bills, different places in the rick house, different fermentation, everything they experimented with. And that was a beautiful, beautiful part of bourbon history that you can take care of. So straight from the barrel, a single barrel from Colonel E.H. Taylor is an okay price. Small batch is an okay price. At the moment, they cost about 100 euros over here for the small batch and 130 for the single barrel, so that's not bad. Corner Creek, there's the old Corner Creek. Should be very, very nice. Will be over 1,000 euros. And there's the new Corner Creek. They basically sold the label to someone else in California, and this is not even worth, I don't know. I haven't had the 8-year-old, but 40 euros for a 1.75 liter. I'm a burned child with Corner Creek. So Elijah Craig, look at the old ones. Many of you still remember these old, beautiful bottles. The good old days, the good old days. Oh, yeah, weren't they so great? So this is batch B514. This is C914. Look at that price, 400 euros. Why? Because it's 70.1%. It's hazmat. So, wow, how I made it over to Germany, I don't know, because an airplane wouldn't be able to fly it. It's hazardous material. And then you have here the new bottles, barrel proof 12-year-old. We have the C921 and the A117 and the A120. So we can actually buy some older stuff here online. Not much, but it's there. All right. So, but the old Elijah Craigs are going for 100, and yeah, here there's 200, 140, and this one was actually just 120. I remember when they cost 38 euros. Now this, the Evan Williams 12-year-old, this is a Japanese and a distillery exclusive. How it made it into the website here, I don't know. When I was at the distillery, I actually bought one of these, brought it back to Germany. I think I paid more than what that bottle's going for now here. It's 106 euros. If I go to the history, sometimes I need to click twice. Sometimes I need to be patient. So there we go. So it's been up to 150 and it's been down around 100 each time. So I guess that must be the going price for that, which I think is a little bit, I find it cheap. Kind of Fighting Cock, why it's in there, I don't know. Forester, also an old bottle. Now look at this old bottle of Forester. This is very interesting. Look at the back. Wait, turn it just a little bit and then zoom in. It's Japanese. Look at that. So don't forget that Japan basically saved the bourbon industry in the 80s and up into the 90s because we weren't buying it, but they sure were. So what is also fascinating for me are the Four Roses limited edition small batch. So the 2019 for 200 is the normal price over here. The 2020 for 124 is fairly cheap. Now this is the little bit of the question of supply and demand. If I actually put, what was it here? 2, 4, 6, 12, 14, 17 bottles at once into the auction, I'm sure I'm going to get a lower average price than if I had done it over 4 or 5 months. So this guy, look at that. So it's 102, 122. They went over here. I think I paid 150 retail for my bottle. They might go up to 150. As I said, there's one more week left. But I don't think he's going to make that much money as he thought he or she originally by putting all those bottles at one time into the auction. All right, so we have some old bottles of fine old bourbon. So for some of the people in America, if you look at the label and so on, you're going to go, oh, I remember that from the 80s and so on. So for export from USA. Now, maybe not, because back then, Four Roses didn't even sell in the USA. This was an export-only product. All right, the same thing's happening over here with the Four Roses. Look at these prices, 7 euros. For a single barrel, Four Roses, 50%. I pay 38 euros for a single barrel. So 7 is extremely cheap, and this is supply and demand and so on. So I think I might just bid on a few of these myself and see if I can get a bargain. All right, so yeah, the casks, that's the warehouse and so on, has nothing to do with the year. I have had this old Four Roses once or twice in my life. It's not wow. It's something that it's a beautiful, beautiful old bottle, but it's definitely not, for me, worth the 167 euros there. Always times it by 1.2, basically at the moment, for euro to dollar. All right, so we have normal small batch over here, which runs also about 36, 35 euros. So it's a bargain. You have some more small batch 2018 release from that was beautiful stuff. The 2017 release was also nice. George Dickel, nothing very special here, just the 8-year-old. And then looky here, we can buy a bottle of George T Stag. Only 2,655 euros. I want to click on this and show you the history. So over here in Europe, this is 2014. We were paying 400 euros. That's 2014. Yeah, this is 2015. We were paying 450 euros. 2017, we were paying 600 euros. 2018, we were paying 700 euros. 2019, we were still paying 680 euros. And then 2,600. Isn't that crazy? I mean, I've never seen something just skyrocket like that in price. Well, maybe sunflower seed oil and flour and tomatoes at the moment. But other than that, it's unbelievable. I have corrected this site a few times. I've sent emails and they always are polite and change things if it's necessary. This is, for example, not George T Stag. It's Stag Jr. It says so below it. Now it's only Stag, but that's okay. There was actually a few bottles on sale in Germany just 2 weeks ago for 105 euros a bottle. Unfortunately, I was just leaving Isla. I was on the boat. I didn't have any internet connection. When I got to the fest, back on the island, away from the island, back onto the on land, it was sold out. I was so devastated. 205 euros, 265 euros is normal, unfortunately. So Malta Scotland is a German independent bottler. Every once in a while, he gets his hand, Thomas Eva, on a few Heaven Hill barrels, and this time he did. And this is actually one of 533 bottles he did. He put Heaven Hill into a sherry butt. Now, if I take a look at the history here, this is what I find very, very interesting at this website. Good. We have a total of 53 items. So 10% of the bottles of this one single bottle collection have actually been sold on this website. I think that's a secondary market here, legal in Germany. So the lowest bottle price was 122, the highest was 303, and we're averaging around 200. So I had that. I was not a big fan of it, but other people love Heaven Hill matured in a, it was 20 years old in a sherry butt. So Heaven Hill from Liquid Treasures, you can find a video about this bottle on my website for 105. So this is something I've never seen before. This is something I might have to actually put a bid in for. This is here a 10-year-old, which is Heaven Hill from the Whiskey Cask Company. Bourbon cask matured, one of 296 bottles. So we get some single barrels every once in a while over here, but not that often. Hill and Hill is for me basically a if you look at this is really disgusting, by the way. So Heaven Hill is a Kentucky blended whiskey. What is a Kentucky blended whiskey? So let's turn the bottle around. Let's go in here. Let's zoom in. So hopefully you can see this here. The straight whiskeys in this product are 4 years or more old. 35% straight whiskey, 65% grain neutral spirit. Don't touch this. All right. Grain neutral spirits, vodka, 65%, 35% straight whiskeys that are 4 years or older. This is a product we should not have in the world. Whiskey at its best. So Kentucky blended whiskey, isn't that's something that belongs in a museum. All right, but it does not belong in my glass. So IW Harper, this old decanter, 312 euros. IP Harper gold medal, so 55. This is the old, this is from Italy, by the way. Now, I personally am not a big fan of Italian products, but you can see on the tax stamp here at the top that they do have, that would be Italy here. Yeah. So a lot of fakes from Northern Italy, by the way. Not saying that bottle was a fake, but it was. J.W. Dant also did some decanters. So we have a lot of Jack Daniels. I am not a Jack Daniel fan. I'm sorry. All right. So we have the 45%. We have the 50%. We have a rye. We have here, this one I find is a little bit interesting, the Bicentennial. So this is a really, really interesting bottle here. So for the collectors out there. And the price, we're talking about 150 to 250 is what that's going to set you back there. If you're a diehard Jack Daniels fan, that bottle should be in your collection. So 176 is not bad. I personally love the Bold and Spicy Straight Tennessee Rye Whiskeys. There's a review on my channel as well. So they cost over here about 32 euros for the 500 milliliters. So this is still a good price. I'm sure that price is going to double, if not triple. So nothing else really here by Jack Daniels that I'm going to call out. So what I will call out is the Jim Beam lineage. It's a 15-year-old, batch number 1. At the moment, we're 118, 128. And if we look at the history of these bottles, they are over 200. So here, 240, here, 260, here, 262. This is when they actually came out in Germany. This was February. No, it wasn't. That was actually afterwards. Someone paid 400. I paid 200 for my bottle back then. And so that would be a bargain to have this price here. So just normal Jim Beam stuff here. Amazing that people put it in there. So it's not even really worth the time of the auction house. Yeah. So this is just normal Jim Beam. So if it does sell for 12, he's going to get €1.20 for a commission, another €1.20 for the buyer's commission and seller's commission. So $2.40, not worth it. This, on the other hand, let's go up to that one bottle here, George T Stag again. George T Stag. If this bottle sells, and when this bottle sells, let's say it sells for 3,000, yeah? That would be 3,300, 300. That's 600 euros that he earned on one little bottle to sell it, to offer it on this site. I think I might have to set up an auction site. Don't worry, Thomas, never going to do that. All right. But I do see there's a lot of money to be made. An old Kentucky gentleman here, an old 1 quart. So these aren't even made anymore in those sizes. Kentucky vintage here. Still be able to bottle it, to buy it. Now, the Knob Creek 12-year-old we never actually really saw in Germany. So I've been watching this bottle. I think it was on sale once at one site here, whiskey.de, for 130, 150, and now it's at 100. So this bottle is just patiently aged, straight rye, no problem. Cavol, we had a single barrel for Germany with a maple syrup cast finished. Sweet, did not like it. Now, this bottle is something I have never, ever, ever seen. It's called Long Trail. I don't know if you've ever seen it. I haven't. So it's a 20-year-old straight bourbon. I have no idea the history of this. This is an old bottle. So this has gone for 150. This has gone for 290. It's gone for 250. So here it's actually gone for only 150 once. I'm almost interested in seeing what this is. Yeah, it's a 20-year-old. So I don't know. What does it say down here? Clyde Bank Blenders Limited, New York. Light and mild, entirely superior, rare old straight bourbon. What does the back label say? As I said, this is a fine bourbon whiskey, slow aged in metal product USA. Markengetränke im und Export GmbH Bissendorf. Okay, it was actually in Germany. Someone in Germany actually imported this. I think this was probably over here was ausländisches Zeugnis, and it's no longer on there. Huh. Like I said, never ever have seen that bottle before, and I don't think I ever will. All right, so that was that. Now let's go over. That was 148 bottles. Sorry, that does take a while. Let's take a look at Maker's Mark, if I may. So let's see here. Hey, David. David says, this is a cool stream indeed, pouring a Wild Turkey Rare Breed. Hey, very good, very good. Drinking coffee, but ahoy! I need some of that Wild Turkey 13 Expert only. Didn't see any bottles of that, by the way. A few Japanese bourbons are appearing in the Australian whiskey stores and online. Very, very good. So, hey, cheers, Cool Running. So I need a pirate ship and fill it up with bourbon and set sail for UK and Australia. Very good. Yeah, I agree. That Long Trail looks suspicious. It looks suspiciously interesting. So I don't know. I might actually think if I can buy one or not. All right, good. Going back here. Maker's Mark. So I don't understand Maker's Mark. Yeah, one of 18,000 bottles. It's the same juice as everything else. It's just the bottle. So you get a nice little, look at that. You get what is it called? Glazed, a little bit of a hazy bottle with Oh, we get the gold wax. The bottle that I found very interesting, I've never seen this before. So a silver bottle with silver wax here from 2005. So we're running now at 155 euros. So we have cast strength. Look at this, 9 euros. This costs 40 over here at the moment. We have travel retail Maker's Mark 101, 45. So this is an old bottle, old style Maker Mark. This is something that belongs also for me, almost in a museum here. But hey, who knows? So you have the gold wax and so on and so on. You have here, what is that on there? You have the Making Spirits Bright, the 2019 holiday edition. Yeah, so Maker's Mark's been doing some good marketing in the last years. The first time I saw the mixtures, I was like, whoa, 187. Then I read, oh, the toasted barrel finish. Toasted barrel mixtures. They are so difficult to come by over here. I do know the importer from mixtures, and sometimes there's like, she gets 3 cases, 18 bottles, and it's Itfall of Germany. And one of these will end up eventually on a website like this. And oh well. Noah's Mill, we can still get over here. Old Bardstown, never have seen a 12-year-old, but that's, of course, we have the Japanese back label as well. So we're going over here. Let's turn the bottle around. And you can actually see here, oh, then people are willing to pay 120 euros for something like that. Not me. Now, Old Crow is a very, very old brand, all right? So I don't know if I would pay 450 euros for a 5-year-old half gallon, but I guess some people are more than willing to do that here. So look at that handle, 450 euros. I think that's crazy, but why not? Old Crow. Old Kentucky Ranger sounds for me like a supermarket whiskey. Old Mr. Boston is actually an old label. Boston, Kentucky, they actually made whiskey there. An old Boston bronze label is a historical product. So Old Red Fox, I've been given this so many times. It's not worth the money. This is a German bottling. For me, it's a supermarket whiskey. It was absolutely not something to recommend. Okay, Old Taylor is the same thing. Look at that, 905 euros for an Old Taylor. So I don't know. Is it Buffalo Trace? I really don't know. So on the back we have here. So Frankfort, Kentucky, and Louisville, Kentucky. All right, so I guess it could be here our Old Buffalo Trace. So I don't know, but still here. Wow, not my price. Now this is Pappy. Of course, there's a Pappy in here. Only 1,690 euros. If I click on this, you will see that the prices should be a little bit higher. Wait for it. Wait for it. There we go. So, okay. I see. I haven't the Maker's Mark 46 is still in the old bottles here. It's one of 18,000. Yeah, that's not small at all. That's still Teeling Renaissance third series, putting around 2 years after lease, and that was just 9,000 bottles. Yes, I want to try the 46 cast strength. Go ahead. It's available in the U.S. everywhere. And anything with old in the name tastes 30% better. Science. I totally agree with you guys. That's good. So once again, we have here 300. We used to pay for Pappy back in 2014. Then it went up to 900, and now it's gone up to 2,000. Yay, Pappy. So that's not everything here. Prairie Saloon. That's for me a supermarket whiskey over here. Rock Hills. I actually wanted to buy a Rock Hill bottle. 2 years ago, it was 100 euros. And I was like, if it's 80, I'll buy it. Never bought it. Never found it. I was always overbid. And now it's at 200 plus each time. Seagram's, wow. American whiskey blend. I'm sure it's 80% grain neutral spirit. Smooth Ambler. We still have some old bottles here. I actually have a case of these laying around someplace. Old Scout Rye, 7-year-old. Now, over here in Germany, the malts of Scotland, once again, Thomas Ava, he actually did something called Sweet Carolina. This is batch 1. There's now batch 2 out there as well. The Yellow Rose of Texas, Kentucky straight bourbon. That's weird, isn't it? The Yellow Rose of Texas from Kentucky. And now this is what I don't understand, people. All right, the most mysterious bottles on this list. We have I actually tried this a few times. This is the best rye whiskey I've ever had in my life. Van Winkle Family Reserve Rye 13-year-old. All right, this stuff is magically good. Is it 1,000 euros good? No. But I'm just going to click on this and I'm going to go to the history. So if you look at the prices the bottles have been getting in the last years, it started off here at 220. That's 2014. Moved up here to 805. That's where I tasted it basically the first time back in 2017-18. Then it moved over here to 1,000, and then it hit the mark of 14,000 here. Now, if I go to the other bottle here, let's go here. The prices should be, look at this, 21,225 euros. This is just sickening. Yeah, someone else paid 17,000. Yeah, so 7,000, 4,000, 6,000. Yeah. All right, so these are very, very specific ones here from the, but that's still no, never, do not think about it. All right, so Weller, what I find is interesting, these are the bottles I have as well. So this is how the European 700 milliliter looks like from the Weller 12. And this is how the Weller 12 in America looks like. So this is 750. So what are the prices? So we have 150 and for those, and 120 for the American, for the European version. So the special reserve with 45%, basically here, 40. These are good, actually very good prices. Walkers, I have no idea what that is. 23 euros, 8-year-old. I don't know. It's an old bottle. I really don't know. It is a straight bourbon whiskey. You might have to look into it. Now we're moving over to Wild Turkey. Wild Turkey, we have the Master's Keep. Now over here in Germany, we can always get Wild Turkey Rare Breed, Wild Turkey 101, Wild Turkey 81, Wild Turkey Rye, and that's it. And all the special things arrive once, a few weeks, maybe a month. They're online at different stores, and then they're gone forever. And so the Master Keep, the 12-year-old, the Oloroso Sherry cask finish, 130, good price, usually 200. The original Master's Keep 10-year-old batch 1, decades, 120, often 180 euros. And the one I have never tried that I want to try is, of course, the Master's Keep 9-year-old Cornerstone Kentucky Straight Rye Whiskey for 216 euros. Yes, it often goes for much, much more. Oh, it's no items found. That's something, it's not worth 200, I don't think, is it? All right, so Willet, we have a 3-year-old, we have a 4-year-old, and we have a 5-year-old now. This is the only juice that I know of that Willet actually produces themselves. Everything else from Kentucky distillers is basically still a source. Good. Last but not least, Woodford Reserve, and then I'm finished with this video. These are the old bottles. I just listened to Bourbon Road, I think it's called. Chuck Norris, Chris Norris, Chuck Norris, that's pretty good. Chris Morris with M was on there, and he talked about why did they change the bottles. Now, they ordered a new batch of these bottles that we remember and know and love from Woodford Reserve. What was it, about 2 years ago? And the glass supplier basically said, nah, we just sold the last batch to someone else. And Brown-Forman, Woodford Reserve said, no, that's our proprietary bottle. And then the bottle supplier said, no, it's not. You never bought the mold. And so they were able to sell it to other people, and other people used it. That did not go well with Brown-Forman. So what did Brown-Forman do is they said, okay, we'll make our own bottle. So no one else in the world can have this bottle mold. This belongs to Brown-Forman, and everything else in the future from the Woodford special releases will be in this bottle. Maybe other things from Brown-Forman will also be in this bottle, but that's the reason why they changed the bottle. Did not know that. Just found that out this week. So this is actually a beautiful, beautiful price here for the very fine rare bourbon. This should be up at about 130 euros. So it was sold once for 90 on here, yeah, 127. So this is actually a 70 euros is a great price for that. I never liked the cherry wood smoked barley, not my cup of tea. Many people in Germany do like it though. I love peat heads. And the new one, there is no, is there history here? Exactly. This is the brand new one, the 5 malt stouted mash here, Kentucky malt whiskey. It's not a bourbon, it's a malt. It goes for about 120 over here. So we'll see if that's the thing. So this is a great site, to be honest. I can go over here. I get a convergence. So they can have a currency conversion. I can click on this and go to the tax stamps. So I know you don't see that, but there's many. I have laser codes and glass bottle codes and so on. All right, good. So that was my nice little overview of the bottles that are actually on sale at the moment, May 2020 here at whiskeyauction.com. So what was it here? The Maker's Mark 46 is around 35 euros. Haven't seen the cask strength anywhere in the UK. I'm so sorry hearing that. Yes, some people actually, that's pocket change for some people. Probably talking about the rye there. 21 grand. You can buy a cask strength cognac distilled in the 1800s for that price. Later, fellas, hanging in there. Off to go rattle some snakes up the mountain. Go for it. And very, very good. So that was actually for me fun to show that to you. Hopefully it was okay. My question of the day is, Jason, do this again. Do this maybe with Irish whiskey. Do this again with bourbon with a different website over here in Europe. Do this again so we can actually see what's available and my personal opinion to the different things offered. Or you go, Jason, that was a waste of my time. Never do that again. So I would like to have that little bit of feedback if at all possible. All right, Whiskey Jason here, whiskey from the viewpoint of an American over here in Germany. Today talking about bourbon and www.whiskeyauction.com site. They do send to very many different countries around the world. Contact them for delivery options. All the best. See you soon. Bye-bye.